well, the worst place I've been in the US is Vegas. I'd have to go. I'd have to go Vegas.
Wait, why did you hate Vegas? I think I'm getting married in Vegas.
I went there for like 2 days, and it was like a day too long. I was like, this is all right. So when I was in Vegas, I discovered that it's not only because it's like everything's mega expensive, but also shit.
Yeah,
I don't mind expensive if it's good, but this is like expensive and bad.
Yeah,
and then also like everyone in Vegas is like they're like Potemkin Americans. It's like they've been hired by someone who hates Americans to like. It's like if the Soviet Union created an American theme park to encourage people of the evils of the Great Satan or whatever.
Right. Okay.
Like they're like this one guy. He was trying to flyer us on the street for a limousine service.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey man, we don't want a limousine service because we don't have anywhere to go. We're staying in like the fucking Bellagio or whatever, and there's nowhere. Like you go more than a mile, and it's just the desert. So we're not interested in it. We have no need of this. But thank you very much. And they start asking us like what we're doing in the city. So we're kind of explaining.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he like puts his hand out for a tip, and I was genuinely confused as to what he was doing. And he was like, oh, you're not going to tip me? And I'm like, tip you for what? You haven't given us a service. And he's like, oh, in Las Vegas, you tip for a flyer. And I'm like, sorry, am I being pranked? Is this some kind of like Yank prank where like tipping has gone so far? Like you want like angry British man reacts to like Yank asking for a tip? Because I will do it. I will react as angrily as you need.
Wait, imagine if they brought that in for the Fringe.
Yeah, God. That's how you get people to take a flyer, pay for play.
Yeah.
Flyering, you earn £1 million in 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Tip
tip
for a flyer.
For a flyer. Did you see other people tipping for flyers?
Well, this was the only guy flyering that I encountered, so I don't know. But he said it with such confidence, and he was like really offended when we wouldn't give him a tip. And I got into like Socratic Elenchus with him, and I was like, but you haven't done anything for us. If anything, we've done something for you. We've listened to your pitch for a product that we don't want. You've wasted our time. And he's like, yeah, but you tip for a flyer. And I'm like, no, you don't. You're the first guy who's ever said that to me.
You can't just keep sort of stating that, yeah, but you tip for a flyer. It's sort of, you're arguing why you don't. He's just restating the conclusion.
Yeah.
But it's I also think with Las Vegas, it's the noise of the fruit machines, and the interior of the casinos is awful as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of pinging noises of that. And also, I mean, they pipe oxygen in there to keep you...
Yeah,
I mean, awake, so you gamble for longer.
And obviously, no windows, no clocks.
Although I get very locked on to watching different kinds of videos for a while.
Yeah.
Again, if I'm not looking at Google Maps in the toilet, I do other things.
Right.
But for a while,
Gambling,
I was really liking watching the videos made by card counting teams going to Vegas.
That is fun. That is fun.
Yeah.
What kind of? In what way though? What did they show you?
Basically, it'll be like a group of like 8 people will start with a bankroll, right?
This is literally my bachelorette.
Housewife, child.
Exactly.
And then they will go...
American guy with British accent.
And then they will go... They'll start with a bankroll. They'll all have like a shared Airbnb together. And then they will go to a casino and they will try and they have like... They'll do different kinds of play, right? Because team play in card counting is really effective. Because if you have nobody... If there's no one who's going to throw you out, then what you have is you just have 7 people making the minimum bet every single hand at like 7 different tables. And then you would just say, hey, big player, come over here. The count is very high. And then the big player would come and then bet big for a while until they won out, right? Until the count went back down. And they also won money. Obviously, because that's not allowed. It's not illegal, but it's not allowed. They have to, a lot of it is, and they're wearing hidden cameras on them because they've realized this is great internet content. Right? And so they're going
But are they incriminating themselves to the casinos with by publishing those videos?
Well, they don't publish them until much later.
Okay.
And also, these guys are like completely known. So they also always blur their faces.
Okay.
There's one guy who doesn't blur his face called Steve Bridges.
Love him.
Who's a British guy. And he has so many disguises that he goes through.
That's so sick.
Yeah, he has tons of disguises that he'll go through.
One day he's Tower Bridge, another day he's London Bridge.
And then there's sort of a series of videos of them figuring out how to continue playing blackjack for as long as possible while doing what I described very subtly. And then like and then trying to then get out with their winnings. So doing something that is like totally legal, 100% legal, but casinos just don't allow
it's just
it.
being good at cards.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're not allowed to be good at this. The rule is you can't be good at this.
But do you remember in the movie Casino, they catch a guy that's trying to cheat and they take him downstairs and did something horrible to him. So
Well,
if
yeah,
they
they-
catch you, what do they do to you?
Well, because the mafia no longer owns the casino.
That's a good point. The times have changed.
I think you're just like not allowed in.
Well, what they'll do is then they will put you on a list, and then all the casinos share security infrastructure. So then, if you're a known card counter, then the casino can back you off of blackjack. It can be like you can play anything you want, but you can't play blackjack. No more blackjack. Or they'll just say, okay, the bet limits at this blackjack table are like $5 a hand. Pointless to play.
You're on a
Apparently,
no-fly list.
with-
Yeah. No
with
jack
online
list.
gambling,
Yeah.
if it's
No
like
jack
online
list.
betting, where you can theoretically, if you like really get into the spreadsheets, you can win. You get blocked from betting online if you're too good
Yeah.
because they don't actually want you to make money.
No, of course not.
Mm.
Obviously not. Yeah,
Wow.
because they can freely, they don't have to give you the service. They can
Exactly.
freely decide for any reason to not provide
Yeah.
it.
I
Your
feel like
account
you
is
guys
suspended.
know enough about the workings of a casino to genuinely maybe pull off some form of a heist between
Andy,
you.
this is the nicest thing anyone's ever
Yes,
said.
it
to
is.
us.
I do feel like
Are you a
have the
gambler?
knowledge.
Do you gamble?
I learned to play craps when we were in America just so I could
It's
stay on the
so
table.
easy to play craps.
I know. Someone had to teach me like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Labrador.
Now
But,
there's where they should have toilets around the table.
But you want to try and stay on the table for as long as you can to
Mhm.
get free drinks and all that kind of stuff. So I learned worked out how to play that, but I don't
Rolling a dice really slowly.
really slowly.
Let me just.
Oh, I could do sexy baby. I could be like, is this a die? What do I do with die? And
You
then-
can blow on it for a really long.
Yeah,
Just like really like work your lung capacity. Like,
Just doing like a hacking cough into the dice so no one else wants to roll them.
accidentally rolled them under a slot machine the entire time. Drinks are
And
coming.
then we're like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God, I'm so sorry. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. And you're like
I'm
really
such a
awkwardly.
klutz.
Yeah.
And I'm from
batting around on
and
the
I'm
floor.
from what 1940s New Jersey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm Velma from Scooby Doo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I can't
we
see
can
a
be-
thing
yeah.
without my glasses.
Exactly.
you could
Your
say.
little dog eats the dice, and
Yeah.
then the QPAs are like, those are the only dice we have in the whole casino.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
the founder of the casino bought those dice.
You could. Those are our lucky dice.
Yeah.
You can just do the roll, the shaking motion, like for as long as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Like, but for a whole round of free drinks.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
You could do just so long as you're doing this.
Mm.
You do a lot of that joke that you do with kids as well. You pretend to pull the dice from their ear.
Oh,
And
kids
they-
are so
they love
easy to
that.
trick.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
that
The
shit.
old Turkish craps player, like, ah.
Hey.
How am I going to roll it? It looks like you roll it and you grab it again before it hits
Yeah,
the
yeah.
felt.
Wait, so sorry, you were playing crap.
So you're playing craps. So
You get
yeah,
free drinks.
just hanging in there for free drinks. But roulette kind of freaks me out a little bit because you just have one go and then you're off, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of. but
It's
yeah,
so fun. I have a friend who used to convince himself that he had a roulette system.
There's no no system to roulette, is there? Surely.
I have power over the wheel with my mind.
What he
Slow
would
it
do
down.
is his roulette system was he'd be like, yeah, I'm going to build up money by playing roulette, and then I'm going to take the bankroll I generate from roulette to go play blackjack.
Right.
But he never generated a bankroll from roulette. Ever.